Hello, welcome. Let's rub our palms. Let's tune in, get ourselves in the mode of receiving. Press your palms together, bring them to your heart, close your eyes, and just tune in. Start to pay attention. Be in this present moment. Be with your breath. Be with your being in space. Feel where you are. How does it feel? Not based on the external. Just how do you feel based on your internal? Starting to pay more attention to the inner senses, to your inner world, to your feeling state. Take a moment, just reset, take conscious intention, take your awareness off of your external world. Like you're wiping the slate clean and coming inward. Slow your breath down. Smile. In your mind's eye and your inner vision, connect to the rising sun. See the most beautiful sunrise. Feel the most beautiful sunrise. Taking that warmth and energy and light into every cell of your being. Feeling yourself uplifted by the rising sun. And then using your breath to take this light, this energy, this magnetism, this radiance, this beauty into your whole being. As you inhale, draw the light into your heart. Suspend the breath at your heart center. Allow it to expand. And as you exhale, send it through the crown like a fountain all around you. One more time, inhaling the light directly into the heart center. Suspend it. See that mini sun within you getting brighter, bigger. Fill your whole being and beyond. And as you exhale, send it through the crown. Clear out your space. Inhaling one last time directly into the heart center. Suspend the breath. Expand it. Smile. Feel it. See it. Sense it. Exhale through the crown. Fill yourself and your world with harmony and peace and calm. Harmonizing your entire existence. Decide. Inhaling and hold the breath. Hold it, rub the palms, inhale more. Hold, rub, get your heat and light and energy in the cup in front of your eyes or on your eyes, and exhale, hold it out, no air, silence, calm. Inhale deep and hold. Feel the energy from your palms to your eyes, to your whole being. Everything I need is within me. Say it to yourself. And as you exhale, float the palms down, flutter your eyes open into your space. Good. So I trust that everybody is doing really well. I had some ideas and themes, and then I come here and I'm like, what was that again? What was I thinking about again? What was inspiring me? But it will come, as I start talking. I was feeling it's just good for us to have reminders. It's just good to stay in the truth and stay in the reminders of, the theory of it or the understanding of it in some kind of a way. But then again, like I'm always saying, how are you applying this? Like, are you applying this? What are you doing in your everyday life? Your day-to-day, seemingly the same things. You wake up, the same things, the same thoughts, the same little routine, and we get into this sameness. And when we do that, most of us, and when we do that, that's when we can kind of slip into that automatic routine and unconsciousness, really, where you're not being mindful of the application of your awareness, of your imagination, of your decision, of your I am, of the cause. You're just out there in reaction world, or like, I don't mean it bad, even just like, thing happens, I respond, thing happens, I respond, just like that. Instead of, remembering at the start of your day, please, okay, at the start of your day, you either already have gone to the end of your day and locked it in, like this was the best day ever and everything harmonious. And maybe already what you have to do that day. So you go ahead of all of that stuff. The meetings went well, or, all my running my errands were so smooth. Everything I got was on sale, whatever. Okay. Like, put it as a reminder. Like, find a way. We forget. Okay, I'm going to try and remind some things that you can do, because I was speaking with a friend and we were like, why is it that some people don't apply this? Like knowing all this intellectually or getting it. I get that. I get that. Yeah, no, that I believe that. That makes sense. But then there's a disconnect. This is what I want you to ask yourself. Like you have to application, you have to ask questions, you have to be curious with yourself, you have to be a student of yourself, a student of your life, a student of this experience, a student of the after effect, a student of the shadow, a student of the external world, but not in the way of trying to figure it out or manage out there, but as a way of saying, where is this coming from? What am I doing in here? What am I doing to get these outcomes or results? What am I doing in here? And yes, like there's so many ways to say it. Like, what am I believing? What are my assumptions? We know all this stuff. Like, it, all this stuff. And so we were saying, like, by knowing all this stuff, but then there's a disconnect because we hear, feedback from people, or, what's going on in people's lives, or you may observe, what's going on in people's lives, and of people that may know some of this stuff or know about these principles or truths or whatever. And it's like, why aren't you applying it? Like asking yourself, even like, how can I be even more aware? How can I make my experience even more delightful, even smoother, even more exciting? Like whatever word you want, calmer, like whatever. Maybe yours is too exciting or too crazy. Then you want it to be calmer, like whatever it is, like there's always more. There's always more, always. And it's not in the way of lack, it's not in the way of like, well, I want more. I want more. It's not in this way of like, I'm not fulfilled, so I want more. It's in the way that I'm so fulfilled that it's overflowing, and there's always more. There's always more love. There's always more peace. There's always more calm. There's always more fulfillment. There's always more abundance. There's always more joy. There really is. So, if you're not in this sort of, I'm in the waking dream and I'm aware and I'm modifying as I go. I'm not saying like all your days are going to be like a movie scene or something, but it could. We have this kind of like standard, if you have a job or you have whatever you're doing the same every day, like I understand. At the same time, like you could spice it up a little, you could make it a little more exciting. Or maybe you expand into a different opportunity, or maybe one of your hobbies becomes the opportunity. Like anything, I'm just saying, like we don't really challenge ourselves in our enjoyment of life. If you're good, if you think you're good, and like we have everything that you need, which is such a blessing, and we're good. But then like, it's almost like we also have There's a lot of things. We have these beliefs of like, you know, that's greedy, or who am I to want more than this? Like, this is good. I'm good. And then it's like, that's the thing. That's a material belief. That's a belief that comes from unconsciousness and unconscious people believing it's only about the material things. And it's not. It's not about, who am I to want more? It's the experience. It's because I can prove it to myself. Because for the glory of all that is, why wouldn't I have more? And I don't just mean stuff. Like, it's not about the material stuff. But if you had the feeling of abundance, then yeah, you might have more stuff or different stuff. But it could be, or if you have the experience of love, you may have more friends, or like this grand romance relationship. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's not about the accumulation of more things just for the accumulation of more things. It's a experience that you can have more of the experience, and it can get better and better and better, more exciting or more calm or whatever, either way, whatever floats your boat. But I'm saying, like, we really can continue to lull ourselves into acceptance, which is good. Like, I'm, accepted and enjoy and be grateful for what you're doing. And at the same time, keep evaluating, is there something more here? Is there something more that I would like to experience? What would be delightful for me in this life experience? And if you can't think of that, that's okay too. At the same time, I suggest you get a little curious, because even if you're happy in all of the things, like, you have your life and you're happy in your job and you're happy in or if you don't have a job, you're happy in that, or you're happy with your partner, or you're happy with your friends and your family, like, everything is just good, you know, in those things still, that there are things that delight you, like I said, like, uh, you can, like lists that we used to do, you like to see butterflies everywhere you go, or it delights you if somebody gives you a compliment, or you find something to compliment everyone around you, like, you're complimenting everyone around you and you enjoy their joy. Everyone around you receives your words, like, they just shine with your words, like, whichever way. I'm saying, look, I'm being creative right now. What I'm saying is, we're lulled into this sameness and we forget about delight. We forget about really making the most out of this life experience. And this is not also in some kind of weird, guilty way, like, I'm not making the most out of my life experience, or, I could be doing more, or I could be doing better. Not like that. None of those judgy, lower, kind of shamey things. None of that. It's more just like, ooh, like, oh, that would be nice, like a light, having fun, light. What would be fun, and just think about that. Like, think about having more fun. Think about being light. Think about, what would be nice. So what was I saying? At the beginning of your day, you can decide some things, you should decide some things at the beginning of your day. Either you go to the end, or you feel the feeling of delight. Today was so delightful, or, I am, I'm always enjoying myself. Like, I feel myself enjoying my life experience more and more. Like, remember what you're doing. That's what I'm saying. Remember what you're doing. Like, you're not just here to just go through the motions and do your little things and do the same things. And, you're not. I mean, maybe you are. If you like that, that's fine. I'm saying we can make it, and it's not even like make it like something big thing happening every day. I'm saying though, you all know that there are delightful things that you can experience each day. It may just be when you wake up and you have your coffee and you decide to go outside and the beautiful bird that is there singing just for you. You caught the bird's song and you just stop for a moment and listen to it. And you remind yourself, that's delightful. That's harmony. That's my world. This is where I am. I'm in this beautiful place with all this richness to explore, to experience, to interact with, to intend, from me as the cause, saying I'm always experiencing delightful things. I have a fun and enjoyable life. And then you're there in that state and see what happens. And when it happens, you don't say like, oh, well, you can say whatever you want, but I'm suggesting you don't say like, oh, that was a coincidence, or that bird's always there, or whatever. Yeah. Well, did you take time to sit and look how beautiful it is, or notice its song, or think about this is an extension of my inner world. This is my delight. This is my harmony. This is my beauty. This is my radiance. This is my perfection externalized, and I get to experience it. Did you take some time for that? I'm betting maybe no. So, just think about that. Think about those things. What am I doing? What am I doing here? Did I forget? Can I remember a little more, to have a little more fun, to have a little more delight? Because, this thing here, and I've said it before, this, whatever this world is, like this sort of foundation or platform that whatever this is that we're here experiencing, this sort of like the stuff that's sort of in place, about our world. And, we know it's pretty messed up in a lot of ways. So it's like almost like, it's like a challenge for yourself to remind yourself, stop getting caught up in that. Like catch yourself, not even just the craziness or whatever's going on, but like really, really asking yourself, like, what is that doing for me? Like what is this doing for me? To talk about this, to buy into this, to have a big emotional involvement with this, with others, with myself, with, what are you doing? Like, is that delightful? What is that giving back to you truly, truly? And how is this, like, how am I contributing this? How is this an extension of my beliefs? And do I want to participate here? We forget, like, you do not have to participate in any of this. Don't be basic. Like, say to yourself, like this is not my ideal. So if it's not my ideal, who am I? And what would I like to experience despite the circumstances? Who freaking cares about the gas prices or about what's going on there? If you find yourself talking about that kind of stuff, fine, it's fine, whatever, do whatever you want, joke about it, whatever you're doing. But I'm saying, like, what is that doing for you? Is that contributing? Like, is that truly who you are as an infinite, abundant, delightful, radiant, magnetic creator being? Like, don't be basic. You're not basic. So getting into the, thinking about that inflation and worrying, look, I'm not talking to maybe just like people who have no awareness of this stuff. I'm not saying be like, who cares about your luck? Like, whatever. I'm not saying that. You understand what I'm saying. It's just, doesn't apply to you. It's not relevant. If you make it relevant, then that's on you. But I'm saying, if you notice a lack or something going on out there, like, I'm telling you, yeah, I noticed too. I go to the grocery store. I'm like, what the heck is this? Avocados. What? Like 2 days ago, wasn't this and now it's this. But then what do I say? What do I use this world as? Not to fall in and get in my grumbly or complaining or basic, like unconscious, this is going to affect me. And now I'm scared. And now, oh my God, and the groceries and whatever. What do I use it for? To say, oh, I'm so grateful for my abundance. I'm so grateful that I'm infinitely abundant and I know how to create or tune into, whatever how you want to say it, the frequency of abundance. And I always can have whatever I want, whatever I need. All my needs are met. And I'm always loved and supported. And yeah, like this, you can duly note it. And like the analysis of it, or what are people going to do? Why would you do that? What is your job? Uplift it all. Someone complains to you, or you see someone struggling, like truly, whatever you notice that in your life, or some people are saying like it's hard to pay this or that. Okay, what are you supposed to do? What is your job inside of you? Say, good, look, this is my suggestion. I think you would agree with me. I think you would agree with me that after practicing this, when you hear that stuff, you don't fall into the state and get all going on it and thinking about it and worrying about it. What's that gonna do? That's what I'm saying. Like, what is your choice, really? You fall into that and you get all, maybe for a minute or whatever. But then what are you gonna do? Uplift it all. Hear them telling you, whatever you want. I took care of it, or I'm so grateful, or I don't know how, I put it all together. I covered it all, or, we're doing great, or whatever you want. But you have a choice. It's your choice. It's not doing anything to help anyone by falling into the state of what is over there, what you're noticing. It's not helping it. You don't feel better. What you're going for is to leave those external things behind, deny your senses, but consciously, like, what you're doing. Oh, I see this. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. And you do it on purpose with intention till you catch the feeling, again, in integrity with yourself. If you are worried, if it's taking you into a state, you can acknowledge it, but then you know what to do. Like, you got to ask yourself, how long do I want to stay there? Like, what is this really doing for me? It's not doing anything for you, like, except getting all your emotions going, getting your hooks in even more. That if you can go inside, decide what is wanted, catch that feeling, go into the state of being, practice it, just decide what is wanted, and you know where to go to experience it inside of yourself. And then you keep ignoring this in the best way that you can and calm yourself down. This is the practice. It's like taking your emotional hooks out because you know better. Then what I'm saying is, regardless of what happens out here, you're going to feel better. And I'm saying, if you can just get to yourself, like whatever the situation is, I'm using this like world examples, but it could be anything. Okay. It could be anything. It could be a relationship. It could be in your job. It could be anything. But that if the point is for yourself to catch the better feeling, to feel calm, to get to that state of relief or satisfaction or excitement or whatever it is within you, and then you really don't care because that is that's from before, that's from unconsciousness, that is whatever it is. But if I am really this and know that I am, and I keep affirming it, I'm going to feel good all the way along, regardless of what's going on out there. And that is the point, because that is your point. You want to feel good. That's why I'm saying all of these things together. If you attune yourself to my enjoyment, my delight, these delightful things, you start occupying yourself with that instead of this other stuff, the after effect, the shadow world, the world, whatever out there. And you start deciding, enjoying, and then you can have that feedback loop. So when your mind tries to see something like a prize, or, a person says something weird or whatever, you have already those experiences that are like the harmony, the joy, all of that stuff kind of like override. You don't get so caught up. You say like, yeah, well, I'm enjoying myself anyways. Yeah, you have to remember, please remember Please remember, because yeah, it just makes I'm just saying, like, getting caught up out there really isn't doing anything to enrich your experience, unless again you are aware, you catch yourself, or you use it as your reminder to do the opposite or to choose whatever it is. So, if there's some fear mongering going on, there's something happening out there, you catch wind of something, and it could be about your health, it could be about finances, all the big, things, could be about the loss of a loved one. Oh no, something like that. And you catch yourself and say, oh, what is wanted? Not that. No, no, no. I'm radiantly healthy. Yeah, I'm infinitely abundant. All my family is in perfect health. Whatever you can get yourself to inside of the feeling. So then, if you truly can do this, and I'm sure you have in different times and different ways, maybe not as consistently or committedly as we can be. So that's why I'm here giving this insistent reminder, because I know that this is super loud sometimes and distracting and emotionally involving. Yeah, I know. So like, that's why I'm saying, you get yourself like, let me see what this says. Take me to the highest line. Okay, yeah, I will. I'll explain that. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one, Carl. Thanks for saying that. Yeah. So like, I know it can be very distracting or whatever. So that's your practice. You can use that. If you start to feel off, wobbly, whatever, that should be a reminder, like, oh yeah, okay. Clarity, like what is wanted. Like I say so many times, what is wanted. Now, the other day in class, I guess it was, I said that, because I'm applying this stuff. And when you apply this stuff and you shift your experience, or you watch the feedback, you watch what happens, or you are in a state of calm confidence, knowing who you are. I decided I'm having a delightful experience, regardless of any distractions or circumstances. I know what's going on in here, and I have a choice. So when you're doing that, like that, I'm just here, like I've said, giving suggestions or things that I have used, and I'm speaking from my experience. So when you do that, you will have your own experiences, and then you'll get your own things to say, or you'll have your own way of doing it that works for you, that it's similar. Like all the people that are talking about this stuff, it's similar things. It's just different little, sometimes, no, ways to say it. It's what resonates with you, but truly the one that resonates the most with you is one that comes from within you. But when you practice the stuff, like apply it and observe and all that stuff, you'll start to have your own stuff that comes through, ideas, or suggestions from your own self, like, oh, that would be good to do, or I think I'm going to read Neville out loud, right, Nikki? Like, you'll have some inspirations. I can't explain it. Like, you just will, or you'll decide to call that person, or, like you just do. You have your own inspirations, and then please follow them. Just check it out. Even if you do it and you're like, whatever, but do it and see what happens. Usually if you have your own inspirations and you do it, it's good. Like, it's for you. So do what you are telling yourself to do, and then see how it feels. And it's going to feel good. I already know it's going to feel good. So I have, like, I've always said, I say these little catchy phrases, and I don't always come up with them myself. I hear it from someone else, or came across my path in some kind of way. And there's a lot of people talking about timelines. Now, this isn't a new thing, like I've been in it for a minute. These timelines, it's just a way for our physical, our human mind, or whatever this is, this experience, just sort of have a visual or something to, see or understand, to organize this intangible. or unseen. Like, how do you understand the unseen? That's why we come up with these little phrases or these little things or these analogies, or, it's like a radio station, tuning in the radio dial, and you're on this state of being channel of this state of being, but that all those other radio stations, those infinite states of being, they didn't disappear. They're still there, available for the tune in at any time. So it's like that, like these little analogies. So it's the same thing, like states of being is like timelines, different timelines. So within your experience, like we've talked about, that you are focused upon this possibility right now. All your assumptions, whatever state of being you're in is, okay, so there's infinite possibilities at any time. You can make a different choice, or there's a million different choices. There's infinite different choices you can make at any time. But you're making whatever choices you're making to be here, to think this way, to have this body, to have this experience, to, whatever it is, you've collapsed those that thing into the physical manifestation, let's say. So the other ones are kind of like, I don't know how it's floating out there. It's not really, but you know what I mean? It's just like available all around. Like radio stations. Where are they? Where's the waves of the radio station? Like, I don't know. How do we tune them in? Like it's that, right? So there's all these possibilities. If you make any decision, the opposite decision still exists. You said yes to this, but the no still exists. And that timeline of the no exists. And you could experience it, or it's been said, like, I don't know. Okay. Like I'm saying, like, we can't know really. You can know if you like meditate and want to go see the other timelines or whatever. Yes, you can do anything. Okay. I'm just saying, for a quick, trying to be simple. You said yes to this, but the no still exists. The no is still there. The possibility to say no is still there. And it's always there, like that's revision. Even if you decided this and all this happened down here, if you wanted to make a different decision, you could, in your mind, in your imagination, in your awareness, go and make the different decision and experience a completely different experience within you. And so that's like a timeline, like that no, and then all that there is a certain timeline, but there's like all spin-offs of there. So that's what I was going to say. There's some that say, some quantum theorists, or I don't know who they are, but saying that the other, like a version of you, there's, I guess, infinite versions of you. I don't know. Some people say there's a certain amount, like there's all different things you can find. Okay. But there's some people that say that a version of you did take that no and is playing out that choice in some timeline. Okay. So whether you believe that or not, doesn't matter. What I'm saying is yes, that there exists an infinite amount of possibilities or decisions or thoughts that could take you on a different trajectory. So if you're in a moment of you're not certain, or there's something going on and you're like, like I want to uplift it all or whatever, a technique or something, that you could test out, or you could see how it feels for yourself, is that show me the highest timeline, take me to the highest timeline. I am on the highest timeline, and highest to you, like it's your definition, meaning the most harmonious. Take me to the most harmonious timeline. Like I'm on the most harmonious timeline. I decide right now I'm on the best timeline for me at this now moment in this state of being. I'm on the best timeline, And so I think it's a good one. It is a good one to play around with, because and that's all you really have, that one, if you really could get it and know who you are, you have to know who you are. I mean, play around, whatever, and see what happens. But I'm saying, if you've been practicing this, if you know you're the operant power, if you've bought the pearl, if you know your imagination is creating your reality, and you just like have a quick thing to remind yourself, and you say like something's going weird, or you know, the example that I said is, I don't know if I said the example, but a family member wasn't doing well, supposedly was ill. And I said, you got to go to the highest timeline. I'm on the highest timeline. They're radiantly healthy. And I decide that I'm on the best timeline possible. So if you know who you are and you can do that, it's just like a little like it's just a different way of deciding, of confirming it for yourself inside. And then it's a way of catching relief. It's just another technique for yourself to find if you can use that to catch relief. Because if you really could do it, it's easy. This is easy. If you're consistent, committed, you have discipline of your mind and your emotions, and you've been doing it, you don't stress, you don't worry, you don't get swayed by the circumstances. You do not care what anyone says. You don't care if it doesn't match what you've decided, or you weren't aware and you didn't decide anything, then they say something weird and then you're like, oh shit, okay. Uh-oh, you know, no, if you've been practicing, you know, you don't do, there's none of that. You say, oh, okay, nope. That's not what I heard. That's not what I decided. I'm on the highest timeline, or take me to that, or show me. Like, if you need to get yourself there, if you want to, you could sit with it in meditation. But really for me, I just say I'm on the highest timeline. I'm on the most harmonious timeline. If I feel like saying that at that day, I don't always say that, but I'm saying it's a thing that you could try and see how it feels. But I think it feels good. And if you, but you have to know who you are, because you could say that, but then if you're still searching or asking or wondering or worrying, it might not feel like it really did anything, or it's that effective for you. You have to know what it is. You have to know that you want to take your conscious, fumbling around out there out of the picture. Like, I don't want to figure it out. I don't want to figure anything out. I'm not here to figure it out. I'm not here to figure anything, how to do anything. I'm not here to, do the details and, what am I going to do? I should do this, that. No, once I decide that, what is wanted, and go to that most uplifted, highest harmonious thing, what I'm supposed to do or what is there to do shows up and it's done. Or I skip over all of that and I'm done. Like, it's done. I don't worry. And I'm saying, if you can practice with, you've been practicing with this, you get better and better at being easy with it, at not worrying, and knowing what you've done and then letting it go. I just heard a lecture. I was listening to someone talking about a Neville lecture where he said that he would, when he would go to bed at night, if somebody would come across his mind, or like we're saying it, and I've said this before too, is like, whoever comes across my mind, or if someone comes to see me, or if someone writes me, or if I'm talking to someone and there's something less than lovely, if something is happening in the experience, just like I was saying, if you hear someone like complaining about the things or whatever, before he would go to bed, he would go over those people, like if people asked him for help on something or whatever, he would just think of those people. Or if, sometimes you're just like, just sitting there or whatever, or just about your day, and someone comes into your mind, just use that opportunity, use that opportunity to uplift them, hear them at their highest. Like, I heard they were doing so well, or I'm so glad that they're thriving, or whatever words you use, you can do that. And he said that he would do that and take them into his awareness and just, do whatever it was, the highest, best thing for them. And the next day or shortly after that, he said, I wouldn't call them to check how they were or what happened or whatever. They'd be calling me. They'd call me. Like, sometimes these people didn't even know, like me too. Sometimes it's like, people don't know what I'm doing. I don't go tell them unless they ask or whatever. But even that, like, I don't really, it's like your own little experiments, it's your own delight. And then they contact you and say, like, tell you a story or say that this is going so well. Or even if they call you and say it's not going so well, what are you to do? You don't get twisted. You say, oh, okay. No, I'm sure everything is going to work out better than you imagined. And you uplift it and you keep going and you watch what happens. Telling you, if you truly are doing it and if you practice, you don't stop. So it's not like anything can, like, you're going to see something shift. You're going to see something change. Something has to change, has to shift, has to uplift because you're doing it. And you don't accept anything else. So there's no like, well, what if? There's no what ifs. You don't, that's not it. That ain't it. So that doesn't get my, I'm not participating. But like, you know, you have to do it in integrity. Some people, it's like, they're just denying or delusional in not a conscious way. So the thing is probably going to go to crap because they have not addressed their beliefs, assumptions. Like, it's just it's not an aligned thing. It's more like a unconscious thing. So this is from a conscious way. You can do it. I mean, this is, what else are you doing? Like, this is all I do. This is all I'm doing. So if someone comes across your awareness or someone's telling you something and it's not the highest, you can say that for them. Like, I'm so grateful that they are on the highest timeline, or we're all on the highest timeline, the most harmonious timeline. If that feels fun for you, you could try it out for a while, see what happens. But it's just another way to engage yourself in a different way, because this automatic mind is very habitual, so sometimes even when you have these like reminders or tips or whatever they are, if they're the same all the time, it's the same thing. It just becomes like another routine. It's just another routine. If it's not like doing something inside of you, if you're not really coming from the inside, just really like trying to manage conditions or justify, or I don't know, you have to know that it's in integrity with yourself. It's engaging, it's exciting, it's catching your attention, it's getting you to a different state. It's shifting your state or maintaining your state or amplifying your state. Like, it has to be doing something inside. Can't just be like, well, this is what I do. I meditate and then, this, and then I breathe. And then that can also become just another routine, like brushing your teeth or having a shower. And, it's not that that's bad. It's just that it's become kind of just complacent. And I don't know if anything really is, I mean, maybe maintaining a certain status quo, which isn't bad, but I'm saying if you're after more and more awareness and consciousness and delightful experiences, or noticing the how this is your feedback loop and you can modify, shift, change, whatever you want, if that's what you're into, then you have to keep yourself kind of engaged on it. Try different things, shift up what you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're listening to. Just change it up sometimes so that it doesn't become just like a standard operating procedure routine. Even though I will say that there are some things that I just love. There's some things that I just love. And then that this really works for me, or this is like keeps always engages me, but even that, like, I love Neville's work, like all of Neville's work, I love. It's pure gold to me. So I don't get bored of it ever. However, I do switch up the way that I am engaging with it. I do. Sometimes I'm listening to an audiobook read by someone else. Sometimes I'm listening to Neville's lectures. Sometimes I'm listening to a lecture and reading it at the same time. Sometimes I'm reading a physical book. It's sometimes I'm listening to someone else's interpretation of the lecture or of the theme or whatever. It's not just that it's Neville, but I do appreciate and enjoy the way that Neville expressed it, and the just the frequency, that wisdom expressed in that specific way resonates with me. But it is like a universal truth, like it is like a wisdom that is said in different ways or shared in different ways with different teachers, so it's not just Neville, like it's a certain understanding of the way this reality is operating, what is this life experience. And there's different teachings, and when you understand it in one way from a certain source or whatever, then you go listen to something else, you can hear the similarities, or you can apply what you've already learned and been incorporating or integrating into whatever teachings that you hear. And as everything, it's what resonates with you. You take what resonates and feel good, and you leave the other part. Some people throw the whole thing out because like, oh, they said this and that's limiting, or that's not true, or whatever. I just don't do that. I'm listening. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But you can listen as an overview and then say, oh no, there's some good things here. There's truth in everything. So I'm just saying it that to say it doesn't just have to be from one source either. If you are tuning in and feel like that wisdom resonates with you or makes sense, then yeah, go down that trail for a little while and see how that feels. And then, yeah, but my point is that you have to keep yourself engaged in some kind of way. And I know a lot of you are doing that. So that's good. Okay. A quick little soothe down before we go. So the drill. We'll do more, and then we'll do a soothing breath, and then we'll go. Okay, so let's just get ourselves into the center again. Smile, relax. Your tongue is up. You have an open focus. You're letting all of this wisdom, all of the good vibes, the high frequency, the high timelines, all harmony, just integrating into your being. That you know it all, that you remember, that you know who you are. We're going to expand. Inhaling deeply. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Inhale a little bit more. More light. More light. More light. A little bit more. One more. And hold. Now root lock, navel, diaphragm. Pull it up. Activate yourself like a lightning bolt up your spine. And exhale, gracefully dissolve. Just take an easy breath. Feel the shift. Instant shift. So simple. Inhaling deep into your chest, hold the breath. Inhale a little bit more. Try to feel that stretch, make it feel good. Inhale more. Even if it's a little challenging, inhale more. You can do it. Smile, inhale more. More, one more, one more. Now lock the shoulders down, root lock, navel, diaphragm, pull it up, activate yourself like you mean it. I have an enlightened mind. And exhale, gracefully dissolve, release, relax. Breathe easy. See how you feel. Enjoy that energy. Everything I need is within me. Inhale deep and hold the breath. Inhale a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. One more, one more, one more. Hold. Root lock, navel, diaphragm. Pull it up. Smile. Close your eyes. Go within. I have an enlightened mind. See it and feel it. Light. And exhale gracefully. Smooth, soft. Release, surrender. Breathe easy. Bring your hands on your heart. Just breathing at your heart center. Reminding yourself. Trusting yourself, knowing yourself. Feel that calm confidence, that ease, that relief, that joy, that excitement, and knowing that everything is always working out better than you could imagine. Once you decide that and let it go, you can relax. Do not react. Leaving your left hand on your heart, bring your right hand, cover your right nostril with your right index finger. Just slow left nostril breathing. Just relax, soothe yourself like the most healing nectar you have ever had, springing it into your entire being like liquid golden light, soothing everything. Just release your hand, both hands, just taking a smooth, deep breath. Exhaling and relax. Keep your eyes closed. Just let your breath be easy. Just bathing in that liquid golden light, seeing from above your head, through your head and your neck and your shoulders, down your arms, to the center of your being, your hips and your legs, knees, ankles, toes. Just feel yourself fluid, light energy. Light, light, light. See and feel yourself in the perfect pattern, harmonious, orderly, infinite love, infinite truth. I am. Bring your hands to prayer. Feel that gratitude and appreciation for yourself, for your life, for the source. covering ourselves with love, peace, and light. Inhale to begin. Love before me, love behind me, love at my left, love at my right, love above me, love below me, love in me, love in my surroundings, love to all, love to the universe. Inhale, peace before me, peace behind me, peace at my left, peace at my right, peace above me, peace below me, peace in me, peace in my surroundings, peace to all, peace to the universe. Inhale, light before me, light behind me, light at my left, light at my right, light above me, light below me, light in me, light in my surroundings, light to all, light to the universe. Inhale for Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Jody.
joining me.